$6,000 repair estimate for this Lexus LS430.
This Lexus LS430 looks clean, but it's got problems. This is where experience with these cars really matters.
We are TaninJDM. We're the nation's first and only dedicated Lexus LS430 dealership, 2004 to 2006. In this series, we're going to talk about this LS430. The customer bought it, not from us, another dealership. And they did get a pre-purchase inspection. However, it's just a generic inspection where they plug in a code reader, they do generic pictures and inspection of the car. They're not specialized to Toyota, Lexus, or LS430. They're just a generic company. So this car, we wrote up a $6,000 repair estimate. I'm just going to go right over the estimate right here. Some of the major points we have to deal with here: lower control arm bushings left and right, which are oil filled. They're leaking, they're cracked, they need to be replaced. Second big thing, we have the timing belt. With 290,000 miles on the clock, we don't know when the timing belt was done. The customer just said do it. Third, we have the big one is camshaft removal. So when we do the timing belt, we need to pull the camshafts out to replace the cam seals. Then we have to do the whole top end: valve cover gaskets, spark plug tube gaskets, spark plugs. We'll show you all of these repairs in the DIY how-to series. Moving on from that, engine mounts. Both engine mounts are torn. The engine is shifting under any kind of load. Transmission mount as well, that gets compressed. We'll show that. We have to raise the engine and separate it from the subframe. The next big problem is we don't have a master key or valet or fob. It has two valets, they don't have a master. So we need to get a master cut. They don't want to reprogram it. We'll get into that later. The mirrors. So very common problem on the LS430s, the mirrors will click and retract when they open. The gears have to be fixed inside. We offer a repair service, a rebuild service for that. And then the biggest problem, we have a P0761 shift solenoid C. This is the solenoid that controls 3 to 4 shifting. Currently it's working fine, so we're hoping a ATF WS fluid swap is going to fix the problem so we don't have to pull the valve body. That is just a small tasting of what is to come. These are the lower control arm bushings on the LS430. This is the most common suspension issue these cars have. What happens is these will develop cracks and there's an oil-based fluid inside that leaks out. Once that happens, your steering wheel will shake at 40 miles an hour. You'll also feel creaking and popping at low speeds. What we need to do is take this off. We can unbolt it just as it is and slide this whole assembly off. Once removed, we will need to press out these old bushings and then press in the new bushings on a press. We have these bushings right on our site, TaninJDM.com. You can just punch in this part number and we can ship them out to you. First step, we need to take off this tray. It's going to be a bunch of 10mm screws, bolts, or nuts. You notice all this oil here. You notice an aftermarket oil pan. I don't know what's going on with this car yet. We'll find out once we tear stuff apart. Could be pretty major, I don't know. We'll see. So for whatever reason, we have an All About Imports LLC sticker on a pan from 2022. There's oil everywhere. We've got oil on the oil pan bolts. We've got oil between the pan and the upper pan, the aluminum pan. You can kind of see the oil in between. So I don't know if this is a botched oil pan reseal or what's going on here. I don't see any oil higher up that might be leaking down, causing this issue. So for now, we might have to reseal the pan when we do the engine mounts. Speaking of the engine mounts, we'll be doing that in a later portion. Those can be found right here. What happens is the rubber inside just splits and it turns into 2 pieces instead of 1. Need 3 sockets for this. First one's a 24mm, second one's a 22, third is a 17. 24 is going to be your biggest one in the center. And then you got your 22 and 17. Crack these loose and remove them. With the 2 bolts and 1 nut removed, now this is free. You can't pull it off directly yet, so you have to grab the back of the control arm, pull down, or better yet, a pry bar. Locates pry bar. Pry bar will allow you to pull the control arm down, remove the washer, and bushing assembly. So this is how we're going to remove the bushing. First we need plates on your press. Then this is a bearing separator on Amazon. You can click below our Amazon affiliate store. You have all these parts. This is just a spacer for a wheel balancing machine, so use this in the middle of the hubs. This is going to get our perfect diameter and press on the old bushing. So you want something that's exactly the same width to push it out, so you're not inside the rubber. And then finally, you need a top piece. This is another kit on Amazon just to do various things, bearing pullers and such, that'll go on top. So you may be unsuccessful in pressing the entire thing out of here. Sometimes this seizes inside or it's hard to get out. You have a couple of options. First, you can press the rubber portion out and then you're left with the ring. And then once you get to this point, you can use a Sawzall to cut this and basically split it, and then it'll easily pop out. You can see right here a little bit of the cutting that we've done. Or use an air hammer, and then it'll eventually just shoot out. Notice this bushing has a little square nub at the 6 o'clock position. On the opposite side, there's a dot on the bottom, a dot on the top, and the square nub on top. The way this was installed factory, the 6 o'clock knob was down, and it rests like so. So when we're pressing this in, we need to make sure this nub is pressed in the 6 o'clock position of the bracket. So here's our LS430 control arm bushing. You remember the nub is on the bottom, the 6 o'clock position. Well, if we look inside here, this is made a certain way. So you have these metal rungs, if you will, or bearing halves, and then you have your rubber portion in the middle, and then this whole thing is filled with an oil fluid that kind of dampens the vibrations of the road. So you can see on the bottom where it lines up with this nub, there's a hole here, there's no hole on top. So if you put this upside down in the car, you know, who's to say that it's not going to function correctly as Lexus intended. So this is why it's important that you install it the same as how you took it out, because you have these holes on the bottom, possibly for fluid shifting or buildup or whatever, and then solid on the top. So here we have the new bushing positioned into the bracket, 6 o'clock position, just like we want. Now before we do anything here, I want to use a big hammer, and then we're going to tap it just so it seats into the bracket, just enough. Just like that. That'll get it started for the press, and we won't get jammed up. Now we're going to use the biggest one we have, or at least bigger than the diameter of the bushing, so we're not damaging the inside rubber. And we'll use our top piece here from our bearing kit on top. And then we are going to spray with WD-40 or any kind of lubricant oil, so this goes in seamlessly. Most important thing here is that once you start, you don't stop. You need to keep the momentum going and keep that bearing bushing moving into the bracket. Otherwise it could get jammed up and you might have problems. So here we go. Hope for the best. See it going down, it'll make some noises. That's how tight the fit is, so just gotta keep going. And eventually it'll seat all the way. Almost. One more. We are in. Success. Now we have a perfectly seated bushing. It's not cracked, damaged, pushed on the inside. We can wipe this off, install it. All right, this is not going to fit just like that. You need a pry bar. You can just pull down on the control arm a little bit and it'll snap in place. There's a shield in front. It's important to make sure this sits how it's supposed to. There's a little pocket on the bottom. That's where it stays. Kind of protects this assembly. We need to put on our final bolts. The big one is around 100 foot-pounds. Same with the nut on the control arm, 100, and the small 17 millimeter bolt is around 40. We'll put the exact torque specs in the description so you know, but we will torque that down. We're going to continue this repair. We've got tons of stuff to do on that list. DIY how-to, we'll show you how to do it all. If you want to see something specific next, or if you have something off the list you want to see, comment below, let us know.